Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Goddess Gemini Gifts, your weekly podcast. So today's episode is going to be what's your career path? So I have it split into 15 categories, so let me explain this. The major arcana cards are spiritual, which will be the Hierophant. Jewelry is Tower. Beauty is the Empress. Fashion is the World. Delivery is the Chariot. Entrepreneur is the Emperor. Lawyer, legal, all that kind of stuff is Balancing Scales. And then manufacturing is the Magician. Next we have the Swords, which is Content, Ace of Swords. Politics is the King of Swords. And retail is the Queen of Swords. Next we have the Cups. Service is the Ten of Cups. Food is the King of Cups. And crafting is the Ace of Cups. And then finally we have Pentacles, which is like natural resources, oil, all that kind of stuff. And that is the King of Pentacles. So if any of those show up specifically in the reading, I will mention it and talk about it a little more. However, I will have an extended available. And once I am able to have it available, I will put it in the description box on YouTube as well as for the podcast. So once it's available, I will let you know. So with this being said, what is the energy for career? What is Gemini's energy? What is the energy for Gemini's career path, please? What is the energy for Gemini's career path? What is the energy for Gemini's career path? Okay, so the energy is the Two of Swords in reverse, okay? The Ten of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse. So Gemini, I see a little bit of emotional detachment, all right? And definitely some unhealthy emotions towards your current career path, as well as with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Definitely a little bit of like truth revealed that you were learning that there's something that's not making you content with your career. We do have the Ten of Cups in reverse, which is service. So if you work in like the hospital, police, fire, anything like that kind of service, I do see you a little bit stressed out, some kind of emotional imbalance, all right? So with that being said, what is the conflict currently with career? What is the conflict currently with career for Gemini, please? What is the conflict in career? What is the conflict in career, please? What is the conflict in career, please? What is the conflict in career? All right, so we have the Two of Pentacles, so that's balance. The Queen of Swords in reverse, that is definitely a little bit of emotional issues, sarcasm, that kind of stuff. And then finally you have the Page of Pentacles, which is very goal-oriented and ambitious and loyal. However, with that, whoever has the Queen of Swords here, I do see definitely somebody resonates with this Queens of Swords energy right now in a work environment. Okay, so what we have here with the Two of Swords and then the conflict, the Two of Pentacles, that's 2-2, and that's telling me there is definitely some kind of, you have a mental conflict, emotional conflict, and maybe a little bit of financial conflict. I'm seeing definitely needing to with work-life balance, all right? That is something that is just showing up here. So finally, next, let's see, what is the positives affecting the energy for the career for Gemini, please? What is the positives affecting the career for Gemini, please? What is the positives affecting the career for Gemini, please? What is the positives affecting the career for Gemini? So the positives affecting the career is the Knight of Wands in reverse. So this is a little interesting. I'm seeing the negative kind of go into where the positive should be, all right, Gemini? So what this is telling me is you have a lack of self-discipline. You're exhausted with the Seven of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, you're exhausted, lack of self-discipline. Excuse me. The Seven of Wands, you're exhausted. And finally, the Page of Cups. You are it's saying envious, but I'm seeing a little bit of like emotionally vulnerable, creative blocks kind of energy. All right. So, what is the negatives in the situation? What is the negatives in the situation here? What is the negatives for Gemini, please? What are the negatives for Gemini in the career? What are negatives for Gemini in the career, please? All right, so we have here the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is definitely a giving up control energy. Normally the Four of Pentacles to me is equal give and take. So I do see a lack of equal give and take, okay? You might be taking on too much work that doesn't, you're not getting your worth and pay is kind of what I'm seeing. However, you do have the community card here with the Three of Cups. So there will be celebrations, okay, for some of you. And the Hierophant, all right, so religious beliefs. So if you are in the spiritual community or wanting to do something in the spiritual community, there's going to be a message here for you that you need to release control, okay, celebrate what it is you want to do, and just take and stand in your own ground. What this is telling me is if you're doing something like in divination or any kind of thing with the spiritual community, it is time for you to understand that just go for it. I'm seeing some of you wanting to do something that's a little bit different, and that's okay. Maybe you have a different type of divination you want to do. I'm not too sure, but there is something that's showing that there's a difference here, okay? So finally, what is the kind of like resolution? What is the resolution for career for Gemini, please? What is the resolution for career for Gemini, please? What is the resolution for career for Gemini, please? What is the resolution for career here? Okay, so Gemini, your resolution here is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm seeing a lack of long-term vision, okay? That's telling me that some of you in career aren't planning on being where you are and you are working towards a goal, towards something else. So some of you may be having like education right now, and then you'll go into your career path later, and then where you're currently working is only like a situation that's not forever. We have the Tower card. So this is intense and sudden change. So I do see a change for you in the future here. This is also my fashion card. So that tells me, oh, sorry, not fashion. This is my jewelry card. So that tells me that if you have a business in jewelry, that there is going to be some kind of change, okay? You may not see exactly what it is right now, but there is some kind of change for you. And then we have the conflict, imbalance, and trust issues with the Lovers in reverse. So specifically, if you are in the jewelry industry, I see it being a little bit unstable. You may have to get a little creative. You may have to add a little bit more than just jewelry. I'm not too sure, but I'm sensing that kind of energy. All right, so I want to do something here. So we have reading down this way. So we have emotional detachment in the energy. Then we have a finding balance. So you need to find balance within that emotional detachment, okay? The positives, right? Lack of self-discipline. What I'm seeing here is finding balance in the emotional. You're going to have to learn how to discipline your emotional imbalances, aka mentally learning how to control your emotions, okay? I'm also seeing here giving up negative emotions kind of, and learning how to control and flip them into positive is kind of what I'm seeing here. And then we've got the lack of long-term vision, which is also telling me here that with the whole like emotional and mental kind of conflict, Geminis, we know we're good for that. I'm a Gemini too. With that being said, we know that we're good for that. So it's kind of, you need to learn to take yourself out of the emotional aspect so you can like think outside the box and kind of look at it from an outside perspective. All right. So sometimes when we are too into something emotionally, we cannot see like the bigger picture of what it is about a certain situation that's actually bothering us, and stepping outside of the emotion and putting the emotions aside helps us link everything and visually see it mentally. Okay, so next we have the 10 of Cups in reverse, and that was also my service, right? So if you're in the service industry, please pay attention to the next messages and let me know if they relate to you. So definitely it's saying unhealthy relationships. So you may be feeling a little bit of unhealthy relationships around you, or you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, I see a little bit of emotional, sarcastic. The Queen of Swords, she can be a very cutthroat person. So what I'm seeing here is critical. You're being very critical about something, all right? You might be overly critical about yourself, okay? And you're exhausted and you need to take a break, all right? With that positive, that is telling you to take a break, take a step back, okay? With your negatives, right, you have celebration. I don't see that necessarily as a negative, but if you don't take a step back and take some breaks, you are not going to have that celebration of inner turmoil, okay? And then the Tower is telling me a sudden change. So maybe taking a break will help you understand what it is in your industry that is making you not satisfied. You know, maybe you loved your job and there's something that's causing you emotional turmoil and you don't quite understand. Okay, with the Seven of Swords in reverse, definitely it is a truth revealed card, right? So finding out something, we're seeing something clearly for yourself, right? The Page of Pentacles, right, is goal-oriented. So when you finally see something, you can move forward with the goal. Even though that's a conflict, maybe you're not quite seeing a goal because you were mentally conflicted with yourself, all right? With the Page of Cups in reverse, this is also telling me a little bit of emotionality, right? You're not too sure on something. And I do see you stressing about a goal that you want to achieve, but there's something with emotions. I do see this as a positive, though, because once you address this, you will be able to move forward. The negative, however, is saying the Hierophant. So once again, if you are in the spiritual community, this is going to relate to you. You may have self-doubts about how you are going to go forward, and you just need to be honest with yourself, okay? And finally, you have the Lovers in reverse, which is also a Gemini card. So that's telling me somewhere in there you need to learn to stand in your power is your solution. You may have conflict right now, but if you take the steps to better everything, you will have a conflict resolution is what I'm seeing. You will be able to turn this upside down situation upright, and then you will see that partnership, harmony, love, unity, and that might just be within yourself, okay? So just remember that I will have an extended available, and I will link it when I can, and that will be split into the 15 categories that I had mentioned at the beginning of the video. Thank you so much, Gemini, and I appreciate your time. Goodbye.